Hello, Immortal News family, and welcome back to our channel. In the last 24 hours, we have received the somber news of the passing of extraordinary talents, and today's episode is dedicated to honoring their memory. Before we start, we kindly ask for your support. If this video or the legacies of these remarkable individuals have touched your life, please consider giving this video a thumbs up as a sign of respect and remembrance. Thank you. Number 9.
Out the door, just turn around now. You're not welcome anymore.
Iris had her own unique jazz style, vivacious and elegant, with a twinkle in her eye, said opera singer Beverly Humphries. She had a way of inhabiting each song she sang. With a voice that could soar with joy or linger in sorrow, Iris Williams enchanted audiences for decades. She passed away peacefully in July 2025 at age 79, leaving behind a deep legacy in music and culture. From a childhood in a Welsh children's home to the grand stages of the world, Iris knew both hardship and triumph. Her contralto voice, rich, soulful, unmistakable, first caught attention in the 1970s. She won Conai Gymru with a powerful anthem for a free Wales, then moved millions with her haunting version of Amazing Grace in her native language. But it was her 1979 hit, He Was Beautiful, that brought her global recognition, a song forever associated with her expressive, heartfelt style. Her talent led to a BBC television series, performances for Queen Elizabeth II, and appearances in the US, including at New York's Algonquin Hotel. She was a frequent guest on variety shows and shared stages with legends like Bob Hope and Rosemary Clooney. Iris was honored with an OBE in 2004, a symbol of her lasting contribution to music and to the nation she loved. She was also inducted into the Gorset of Bards, further cementing her role in preserving and promoting Welsh heritage. Beyond her music, Iris gave back, raising money for hospitals, hospice care, and even helping launch Wales's first credit union through charity concerts. Her warmth extended beyond the microphone, touching lives wherever she went. She was elegance and kindness rolled into one unforgettable presence, respected by colleagues and adored by fans across generations. Her brother Ashley, remembering her deep love for the valleys of Wales, spoke of how she always remained grounded, no matter how far she traveled. Though she is gone, her voice lives on, in recordings, in memory, and in the hearts of those she touched. Tributes to Iris Williams. Number 8. Jazz Lives On. These powerful words from Louise Artello Villeneuv perfectly capture the enduring spirit of Norman Marshall Villeneuv, a drummer, teacher, and inspiration whose legacy goes far beyond music. Norman passed away peacefully at the age of 87, following a short illness. His life was a rhythm that never stopped giving, shaping the Canadian jazz landscape and echoing far beyond Montreal's borders. From the Saint-Henri neighborhood of Montreal, a place rich with musical heritage, Norman rose to become one of Canada's most beloved jazz drummers. With just 5 formal drum lessons, he taught himself by listening, watching, and feeling the pulse of Little Burgundy's vibrant jazz scene. He got his first drum kit at 14 and never looked back. Norman's 6-decade career earned him the nickname Canada's Art Blakey for his powerful bebop style and his deep commitment to mentorship. He performed with leading jazz figures across Canada and abroad, led dynamic bands of his own, and was honored with a Felix Award, an emblem of his far-reaching impact on Canadian music. But it wasn't just the music, it was the man. Known for his joyful energy, Norman mentored countless young musicians, offering wisdom, encouragement, and his signature smile. Whether swinging through a drum solo or guiding a nervous student, he brought warmth and a deep love for jazz to every moment. Even in his final days, surrounded by friends and family, Norman remained positive. He looked forward to sunny afternoons and shared stories that made everyone laugh. He never lost that spark. Following the news of his passing, tributes arrived from all corners of the world, from jazz clubs in New York to stages in Dubai. Each memory shared offered the same message: Norman lifted people higher. He gave others the courage to find their voice, keep time, and shine. He is survived by his wife, Louise, an extended family who adored him, and a global community of students and fans who carry his rhythms forward. Norman Marshall Villeneuve's beat may have ceased, but the song he started plays on in every heart he touched. Tributes to Norman Marshall Villeneuve. Number 7. The key to leadership, David Gergen once said, is not only vision and courage, but humility and trust. Over 5 decades he lived those words every day, with presidents, students, colleagues, and the country he so deeply served. David Gergen, a steady and trusted voice in American public life, has passed away at the age of 83 after facing Lewy body dementia. He leaves behind a legacy of honesty, thoughtfulness, and unity across political lines. In a rare and remarkable career, Gergen advised 4 U.S. presidents, 2 Republicans and 2 Democrats. His unique ability to put country over party gained him the respect of people from all walks of life. Whether inside the White House or in front of a camera, his calm insight and historical grounding helped Americans better understand politics in turbulent times. As a journalist, he guided readers and viewers with clarity and fairness. He served as chief editor at U.S. News and World Report and became a familiar face on PBS and CNN, offering perspective that was both wise and balanced. Among many honors, his work helped earn 2 Peabody Awards and 2 Emmys for political coverage. Gergen also shaped the next generation. As founding director of the Center for Public Leadership at the Harvard Kennedy School, he mentored thousands of students. His classroom, his writings, and his voice left a deep mark on aspiring public servants and leaders. His best-selling book, Eyewitness to Power, gave readers a rare look inside the Oval Office and distilled timeless lessons in leadership. Beyond his career, David was deeply admired for his character. He gave generously of his time, encouraged civil disagreement, and remained hopeful about the future. Early in life, he served as a Navy officer and engaged in civil rights work. Later, he stayed active in nonprofits and civic leadership roles. For him, leadership was not about fame, it was about service. Tributes have come from across the country, from students and presidents to university leaders like the president of SMU, who said, "SMU proudly salutes David Gergen for his incredible contributions and for deepening our understanding of national and international political issues." David Gergen is survived by his beloved wife Anne, his children Christopher and Catherine, and 5 grandchildren. Though he's gone, generations will continue to feel his influence. Tributes to David Gergen. Number 6. Tell the truth, then worry about style, Michael Rabiger once said. That simple phrase captured the heart of his life's work. Clear, honest storytelling that revealed the humanity within us all. Michael Rabiger, a guiding light in the documentary world, passed away at 86 after a brief illness. His influence reached far beyond any single film or classroom. Whether behind the camera or in front of a lecture hall, he lit paths for others to tell their stories. Starting at famed British studios like Pinewood and Shepperton, Michael later brought his talents to the BBC, shaping early documentary narratives as an editor and director. But it was at Columbia College Chicago where his true legacy unfolded. There, he built one of the most respected film programs in the country and founded what would become the Michael Rabiger Center for Documentary. He directed or edited more than 35 films, mentored thousands, and authored textbooks that became essential guides for film students around the world. Titles like Directing, Film Techniques and Aesthetics, and Directing the Documentary continued to shape how film is taught and understood. Michael didn't just teach students how to make films, he taught them why stories matter. He championed voices that were often unheard and inspired a generation to use film as a tool for truth and empathy. Over the years, he received many honors, including the Preservation and Scholarship Award from the International Documentary Association and the Genius Career Achievement Award from the Chicago International Documentary Festival. But for Michael, the real reward was watching others grow. Colleagues remember him not just as a visionary, but as a kind and generous spirit. One former student shared, "Michael gave me the courage to tell my story. He changed my life with a single conversation." He is survived by his spouse, Nancy Mattei, and a vast community of artists, students, and storytellers who carry his message forward. Michael Rabiger's legacy lives on in every frame, every book, and every voice he helped lift. Tributes to Michael Rabiger. Number 5. She is an experimental writer who can break your heart, wrote Christian Women in tribute to Fanny Howe. Live in her world for a while, and it can change the way you think of yours. That world, fierce, luminous, deeply questioning, has now grown quieter. Fanny Howe passed away at 84, following a brief illness, leaving behind a legacy of poetry that challenged, comforted, and reimagined the boundaries of language and faith. Born in Buffalo and raised in Cambridge, Fanny Howe lived her life devoted to the written word. Over 5 decades, she authored more than 20 books of poetry and prose that explored faith, suffering, ethics, and what it means to be human. Her writing often felt like a whispered confession or a fragment caught from prayer, intimate, searching, weightless, and sharp at once. Her experimental style earned wide respect and many honors. She received the Ruth Lilly Poetry Prize for Lifetime Achievement, the Lenore Marshall Poetry Prize for her selected poems, and the Griffin Poetry Prize. Her book Second Childhood was a finalist for the National Book Award. She also held fellowships from major foundations and chose to work with small presses, valuing creative freedom over mainstream acclaim. As a teacher, Howe left a lasting impression, teaching everywhere from California to Cambridge, including UC San Diego, Columbia, Yale, and MIT. Her role as Professor Emerita didn't mark retirement. It reflected her continual influence in cultivating new voices and encouraging depth over polish. Her poetry, works like Love and I, Gone, and The Needle's Eye, embodied grace without ease. Critics noted her spiritual yearning and her quiet but unwavering social conscience. Poet Michael Palmer praised the fierce, always passionate spareness of her work. Fanny Howe touched thousands, not with grandeur but with truth. Her humility, her resistance to literary celebrity, and her generous mentorship earned lasting affection. She guided others as she wrote herself, with gentleness, rigor, and care. She is survived by her children, including writer Danzy Senna, and countless students and readers who found shelter in her words. Memorial service details remain forthcoming. Fanny Howe helped generations slow down, ask better questions, and write more honestly. Her work will continue to shape poetry's future and its soul. Tributes to Fanny Howe. Number 4. The Executive Council conveys the thanks and appreciation of the men and women of the labor movement for his devotion to the goals of social and economic justice for all. These words from the AFL-CIO capture the heart of Arthur Coia's legacy, a man who devoted his life to lifting others up. Arthur Coia, a lifelong champion of working people, passed away at the age of 82. He died peacefully, surrounded by loved ones, after a brief illness. Born in Providence, Rhode Island, Arthur was shaped early on by his father's passion for labor rights. That passion lit a fire in him that never dimmed. From his first steps in Liuna Local 271 to leading one of the largest labor unions in North America, Coia's rise was fueled by purpose. His leadership was visionary. As general president of Liuna, he led major organizing efforts across the country, fought for fair wages, safer workplaces, and modernized union operations. His influence reached far beyond the boardroom. He walked picket lines, met families, and never lost touch with the people he served. Arthur's legal mind was sharp, but his heart was even sharper. He helped found a labor-focused law firm, building partnerships to strengthen protections for working men and women. His efforts went beyond contracts and negotiations. He established scholarships and pushed for education that could lift future generations. Respected inside and outside the union, Coia served on the AFL-CIO Executive Council and co-chaired its organizing committee. He fought corruption from within and called for integrity throughout the labor movement. To many, he was a mentor, a friend, and an unwavering source of strength. At home, he was a devoted husband, a proud father, and a loving grandfather. He found joy in family and stayed grounded in the values he always stood for: justice, opportunity, and unity. Arthur's passing has left a quiet space in the world of labor, but his voice and actions still echo. The rights he defended, the lives he improved, and the legacy he built will endure. Tributes to Arthur Coia. Number 3. His quiet strength reminded us that resilience doesn't always speak loudly. It endures, decade after decade. Donald Kitchener Rose, the world's oldest living World War II veteran, passed away peacefully at the age of 110. A figure of quiet dignity and boundless endurance, Donald carried the spirit of a generation that faced one of history's darkest chapters and emerged with courage and grace. Born in England, he joined the British Armed Forces during the Second World War, serving his country at a time of great uncertainty. He stood not only as a witness to history, but as a participant who shaped it through service and sacrifice. Decades later, he remained a steadfast presence at memorial events, sharing personal memories that helped younger generations understand the cost of peace. Though soft-spoken, his influence was powerful. Donald Rose represented a living connection to a time fast fading from memory. His willingness to speak about wartime experiences gave history a human face and deepened our collective respect for those who served. His long life became something extraordinary, not only because of how far it stretched, but because of how deeply it reached into the hearts of others. Family, friends, and communities across the UK held him in the highest regard, drawn to his wisdom, humility, and unwavering love for country. A statement from the Royal British Legion spoke for many. Donald Rose embodied the courage and spirit of an entire generation. We are deeply grateful for his service and his willingness to keep the memory of World War II alive for future generations. Donald Rose died peacefully at home after a brief illness. He is survived by his devoted family, including his children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren. Funeral and memorial details have yet to be announced. With Donald's passing, we lose a cherished link to the past. But his legacy will continue in every story told, every moment of remembrance, and every act of peace sustained by those who follow the example he set. Tributes to Donald Rose. Number 2. The measure of any society is how it tells its stories. Britt Edwall often lived by those words, though she rarely said them aloud. For over 3 decades, she helped Sweden listen more carefully, think more deeply, and connect more humanely. Britt passed away at the age of 90, peacefully, following a brief illness. Her loss is felt deeply across Sweden's media and cultural communities. From her earliest days at Sveriges Radio in the 1960s, Britt had a singular gift for capturing the soul of the moment. Whether producing cultural discussions, exploring literature, or directing radio theater, she gave voice to people and ideas that shaped a generation. Her work was thoughtful, bold, and always deeply human. One of her most powerful radio plays, From the Depths of a Massacred Fragility, brought complex literature into the public eye. Later, her adaptation of Dirty Weekend showed she was unafraid to provoke thought and challenge norms. Beyond radio, Britt wrote for Dagens Nyheter and Månadsjournalen with sharp clarity and deep compassion. Listeners, readers, and colleagues admired her for the same reason. She saw beneath the surface and told the truth with grace. She was not just a presenter or producer. She was a mentor, a translator of feeling, and a quiet revolutionary in Swedish media. Her contributions to theater and literature added an extra layer to a career already rich with creative accomplishments. Britt's warmth and curiosity made her a cherished friend and a guiding light for younger voices in storytelling. Many who now lead in Swedish broadcasting credit her influence. She never chased fame, one colleague said, but her impact ran wide and deep. She helped us all hear the world more clearly. Britt is survived by her 3 children, including playwright and musician Måns Edwall, who carries forward part of her artistic legacy. The family has asked for privacy as they plan a memorial. Through every performance, article, and program, Britt Edwall reminded us why stories matter. She leaves behind a nation more thoughtful, and a media world forever shaped by her vision. Tributes to Britt Edwall. What's trending on the internet? News 1. If you've been keeping up with the latest season of Love Island USA, you've probably heard the buzz surrounding 24-year-old Andreina Santos. After her exit from the villa, Andreina decided to address the swirling internet rumors about her appearance with refreshing honesty and positivity. In a heartfelt video posted on July 9th, Andreina shared that aside from openly having a breast augmentation, the rest of her look is all natural, crediting her curves and features to her Dominican heritage and mom's genes. It's not just Andreina facing the spotlight. Other contestants like Vanna Einarsson and Huda Mustafa have also chosen transparency, openly discussing their experiences with cosmetic procedures. For many of these young stars, going public isn't just about setting the record straight. It's about encouraging kindness and self-acceptance, especially as they navigate criticism online. Andreina's courage and positive attitude are a wonderful reminder that honesty and self-love never go out of style. As Love Island USA continues to trend, Andreina will be remembered for her grace and for inspiring others to celebrate their individuality. News 2. Here's a story that truly touches the heart. Emily Simpson, known to many from the Real Housewives of Orange County, recently opened up about a deeply personal challenge her family is facing. Emily revealed that her 10-year-old son, Luke, has been diagnosed with ARFID, avoidant restrictive food intake disorder. This rare eating disorder means Luke severely restricts the types and amounts of food he eats, not out of a desire to lose weight, but because food itself can seem overwhelming or even unappealing to him. Emily, together with her husband Shane, has been candid about how tough the past year has been, watching Luke's appetite become smaller and smaller. Simple questions like, "Do you want some chips or goldfish?" are often met with a shaking head. Emily shared that food can disgust Luke, and he's extra sensitive to smells, sometimes even declaring a room stinks the moment he walks in. The family has learned to be patient and accommodating, recognizing that Luke processes hunger and eating very differently. Despite the worry and uncertainty, Emily's love and determination shine through. She's working with therapists and nutritionists, doing everything she can to make sure Luke feels supported, not just physically but emotionally too. And through her openness, Emily is helping others understand that AirFit is more common than we might think, and that it's okay to talk about the challenges families face. It's stories like this, of courage, support, and unconditional love, that remind us how every family triumphs in their own way. We wish Luke and the Simpson family strength and hope, and we applaud Emily's bravery for sharing her family's journey to help others. News 3. Here's a story that's sure to restore your faith in the next generation of innovators. Meet Logan Sear from Calgary, Alberta, a remarkable 16-year-old who's turning personal challenges into groundbreaking research. Inspired by his own experiences, as well as the health struggles of his mom and younger sister, Logan set out to find answers for genetic malformations through a prestigious program called the Knowledge Society. Logan's family knows firsthand how tough life with genetic conditions can be. His mother, Kelly, was born with only one kidney and is currently recovering in the hospital after a failed transplant. His sister, Madison, copes with a complex brain disorder, and Logan himself manages a rare sensory condition. Rather than being discouraged, Logan chose to channel his concern for loved ones into hope for families everywhere. Thanks to the Knowledge Society, Logan and other driven teens are getting real-world experience tackling life-changing science projects. Logan dreams of one day being a researcher who develops cures for the very disorders that have affected his family. If his compassion and determination are any sign, he's already well on his way. Stories like Logan's remind us that the future of science is in good hands. His journey is not just about personal triumph, it's proof that even tough beginnings can inspire breakthroughs that help the world. Logan will be cheering you on and looking forward to the discoveries you'll bring. News 4. If you've followed country music, you'll know the name Scotty McCreery, a voice that's brought joy to so many. This week, Scotty shared deeply personal news that touches the heart. On Wednesday, both of his grandmothers, Janet and Paquita, passed away just hours apart. Janet, aged 85, was especially close to Scotty's family in North Carolina, leaving behind a legacy of warmth and wisdom. Paquita, his father's mother, was remembered for her gentle spirit and love for her family. Scotty has always spoken lovingly about his grandparents and the inspiration they brought to his music and his life. In a heartfelt message, he shared his heartbreak, but also his gratitude for the special memories made together. While this is certainly a difficult time for Scotty and his loved ones, he's choosing to remember the laughter, the stories, and the lessons his grandmothers gave him. As fans, we honor the special role Janet and Paquita played, not just in Scotty's life but in shaping the kindness and character that shine through in his music. Their memory will live on in every note he sings and every smile he brings to his listeners. Our thoughts are with Scotty and his family as they celebrate lives so well lived. Number 1. There are people who bring light, laughter, and warmth into everything they do, and Aldo was one of them. Known to millions for his quick wit and contagious humor, Aldo Miranda carved out a space on the internet where joy lived. Hailing from La Paz, Mexico, he became a beloved figure in the digital world, amassing more than 10.5 million fans on TikTok. His videos, full of relatable comedy and heartfelt moments, sparked laughter across homes around the world. But Aldo wasn't only a viral sensation. Behind the screen, he was a devoted educator, proudly serving with Mexico's Ministry of Public Education. In classrooms, just like online, he inspired trust, connection, and meaningful learning. Balancing both worlds with grace, he proved that you can be both, an entertainer and a role model. He passed away at the age of 32. Though the cause is still under investigation, officials suspect it was suicide. His death has prompted an overwhelming wave of tributes, each message a reminder of how much he meant, not just as a creator, but as a person who showed up with kindness, again and again. The Alb Group, his longtime management team and close friends, shared moving words. Sometimes the internal battles are silent. I want to remember him with the love, light, and joy he left in us. We are going to miss you like you have no idea. Aldo's authenticity stood out in a world that often asks for filters. He connected with others easily. Whether it was a funny skit on TikTok or a story from his life, everything he shared felt real, because it was. That openness is what made his followers feel like friends. To his students, fans, and fellow creators, he was more than an internet figure. He was a bright example of how laughter and learning can change lives. His legacy lives on in the kindness he showed, the memories he created, and the millions of people he made smile. Aldo Miranda is survived by his loved ones in an enormous online community that won't forget him. Tributes to Aldo Miranda. Frank believed theater was a living conversation between artist and audience, a colleague once said. He was never content to simply perform. He poured himself into every